The Netherlands is the first member of NATO to have deployed 4 armed ground robots, often known as unmanned ground vehicles. The robots are tracked hybrid modular infantry systems, unmanned ground vehicles made by Milrem Robotics, an Estonian defense company. It can utilize a variety of weaponry and has treads like a tank. The Dutch military's unmanned ground vehicles are visible in photos with machine guns. In this video, we'll talk about the NATO-deployed killer robot terror assassins. Now let's start this. The story was first published by Janes, a military and intelligence trade publication. According to the Dutch Ministry of Defense, the UGV's initial deployment took place on September 12th. The commander of the Royal Netherlands Army Robotics and Autonomous System, Lieutenant Colonel Sjoerd Mewissen, told Janes that we have deployed 4 weaponized unmanned machines within an operational experiment. As far as I know, this has never happened in the West. The machines have been sent to a working unit for experimental usage in a setting that is important to the military. These are not merely drills on a practice field. We operate in a semi-operational setting where the Russians may see and hear us directly. The world has seen robots before, but not all of them have machine guns. In 2019, Estonia sent an unarmed version of Themis to Mali for the first time. According to the Russian MOD, 2018 saw the deployment of armed UGVs in Syria. Iran has also been working on its own unmanned ground vehicles, and in 2019 it showcased the Heyday 1 on social media. Iran's tiny drone, which resembles a beetle, appears to be built to roll under tanks and APCs and detonate. The Uran 9 from Russia and the Themis from Estonia are both larger and capable of carrying more lethal weapons. The Uran 9 resembles a terrifying and lethal killer robot since it's equipped with a 30mm 2A72 automatic gun and 4 9M121 Ataka anti-tank guided missiles. Early reports, however, suggest that Russia's UGV performed poorly in Syria and frequently lost contact with its controller. A video of a robot dog carrying an assault gun on its back went viral online over the summer. Boston Dynamics stated earlier this month that it would not turn its line of robots canines into weapons. In spite of the creepy nature of the video and Boston Dynamics' attempt to reassure the public, killer ground robots are already a reality, and the militaries of the world aren't interested in mounting a weapon on the back of a quadruped, even if they might have other applications on a future battlefield. It seemed inevitable that gun-toting killer ground robots would resemble what the Dutch have used and what the Russians have tested in Syria, miniature tanks with no humans inside. Killer robots have arrived and we must control them. Lethal autonomous weapon systems will be challenging to manage once they start to proliferate. Robot hordes that can kill people are no longer just the stuff of science fiction. There are now lethal automated weapons systems or laws. Moscow is said to have utilized the Kalashnikov Zala Aero Kubla loitering munition, which has AI capabilities in Ukraine, while Kiev has employed the Turkish-made Bayraktar 2B2 drones, which have some autonomy. These technologies have apparently been deployed in at least one war, though it's never easy to tell whether a weapon is in autonomous mode. In the civil conflict in Libya, Turkey may have employed autonomous firing by its Cargo 2 drones to pursue evading soldiers, according to a United Nations assessment from the previous year, though the CEO of the Turkish company that produced the drone denies it is capable of this. These systems, as opposed to conventional drones, can navigate independently, and some can choose targets. Although a human commander still has the ability to initiate a strike, such weapons are becoming more and more autonomous. These technologies are ready to proliferate widely now that military and paramilitaries from all over the world have taken notice. The current state of the planet is right before significantly more sophisticated versions of these technologies become commonplace. A number of countries, including Australia, Britain, China, and the United States, are making significant investments in the development of laws with an ever-expanding range of sizes and capabilities. At least Israel, Russia, South Korea, and Turkey have reportedly deployed weapons with autonomous capabilities, though it is disputed whether this mode was active. Some laws are now capable of loitering in an area to locate targets such as enemy radar systems, tanks, ships, and even specific people that machine learning algorithms have trained them to detect. The appearance of these weapons may vary greatly. For instance, the 2020 Turkish Cargo 2 drone, which can swarm in groups, is 2 feet long, weighs about 15 pounds, and was deployed in the conflict in Libya. Both considerably larger and much smaller autonomous systems are possible, such as unmanned AI-driven fighter jets like the upgraded L-39 Albatros and basic commercial drones equipped with autonomous software. But before we go any further, kindly click the like button, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell. These technologies will be challenging to manage after they have become widely used. Thus, the necessity for a novel approach to laws is crucial. The international community has only agreed that this topic has to be examined thus far. But what it actually needs to do is create a non-proliferation system for laws by learning from the nuclear playbook. At the moment, the nation's leading laws development opposes any calls for its prohibition. The US Defense Department's doctrine is that they must be created to ensure adequate levels of human judgment over the use of force, despite the fact that the United States has asserted that existing international humanitarian standards are sufficient to govern laws. China has maintained its ambiguity, insisting on a specific definition of laws while stressing the significance of a full examination of the applicability of general legal rules. In the meantime, Russia uses diplomatic formalities to stall and shorten the time the UN spends discussing the matter while refusing to even consider it. However, the majority of nations have demanded that creating and exploiting laws be prohibited or at the very least regulated. Legal actions are politically unacceptable, morally repulsive, and should be forbidden by international law, according to UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres in 2019. There are numerous causes for concern regarding laws among nations, international NGOs, academics, and AI specialists. There is growing understanding that the introduction of such weapons could have significant and negative effects, even though they are not all predicted to have the same effects on civilization. First, since laws are not constrained by the number of people available to staff them, they could allow for widespread acts of violence. Second, they can target people or groups that fulfill particular criteria when used in conjunction with other technologies, which may appeal to violent groups and state forces engaged in ethnic cleansing and political assassinations. Third, laws might make it simpler for those in charge of them to remain anonymous. Therefore, laws have the power to alter political systems and make them more autocratic. Additionally, they may malfunction at any time, even by mistaking people for enemies. The international community has so far tried to regulate laws but has failed. After 8 years of technical debates, government and civil society groups convened in December 2021 at the UN in Geneva for what was dubbed a historic chance to create an agenda for the first regulation of laws. The majority of delegates preferred enforceable laws that apply uniformly to all states and control the creation and application of these technologies. But by any measure, the meeting was a failure. The UN Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons (CCW), a forum for limiting the use of weapons thought to cause unnecessary or unjustifiable suffering to combatants or to affect civilians indiscriminately, barely managed to agree on 10 more days of discussion this March and July despite years of preparatory discussions. This result was predictable given the positions of the major countries and the CCW regulations requiring unanimity before action is taken. As a result, a wide range of parties, including Argentina and the Philippines, as well as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and some of the states that support or laws ban, are pushing for a procedure to create legally enforceable bans on these weapons outside of the CCW. When nations agreed to give up landmines through the 1997 Ottawa Convention, cluster munitions through the 2008 Oslo Accords, and even nuclear weapons through the 2017 Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, which was the first treaty to completely ban nuclear weapons in accordance with international humanitarian law and established pathways for current nuclear weapons, states to renounce their arsenals. Alternative approaches to prohibition treaties have had some success in the past. The majority of the powerful states did not sign these accords, despite the fact that several states did. Unfortunately, laws is unlikely to achieve even this modest level of success. The main reason is that the states are less inclined to unilaterally forsake this non-substitutable technology because they are becoming more conscious of how important it may be to national security. If states as rivals possess them, they are likely to assume they are necessary. In fact, in the absence of a non-proliferation framework similar to that which exists for nuclear weapons, their adversaries will continue to quickly and unchecked create laws. In the case of laws, non-proliferation hasn't gotten much attention, but it has in the past with the missile technology control regime, biological weapons, chemical weapons, and of course nuclear weapons, where it has succeeded to various degrees. The historic Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons Treaty (NPT), which became effective in 1970, satisfied the demands of both major and minor powers. It depended on a reliable international institution that was tasked with the dual duties of promoting and controlling nuclear technology, permitted other states access to advantages of civilian use of nuclear power, and did not require countries that had nuclear weapons to instantly give them up. We currently just have that. We appreciate you watching the video till the end. What do you think of the circumstances? Please share your thoughts in the section below. Please press that bell and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. We'll see you in the next one.